1,000 children live in DCF custody, and 2 recent cases highlight flaws in the system.
Desiree Sheldon and Peyton Giroux died earlier this year, prompting multiple statewide investigations. Tonight, we launch a special report. Here's Shelby Cashman.
Darren and Kristen, from the Department for Children and Families protocols and procedures to what parents have to do to get their kids back, all sides of the system are being examined through multiple investigations. Tonight, I take a look at the cycle of DCF and why some kids are allowed to return to their parents.
Natasha said, and he has always been Natasha's.
Growing up without a real home is something Raylan Parizo knows all too well.
Like going into a family, like you're like a number, you're, I don't know, almost like a misfit.
From the age of 12 to 17, Raylan was in custody of the Department for Children and Families, floating from foster home to foster home. And now her 2-year-old son is in DCF custody, one of the approximate 1,000 other foster children across the state. She was caught with drugs in her car with her son in the back seat. Now, she's trying to break what she calls the DCF cycle.
They made me who I am. The moving and the constant different places. I mean, I can imagine how they put kids in foster homes.
Raylan says she is working hard to get her son back. That includes parenting classes with weekly reports sent to her DCF caseworker, regular trips to the methadone clinic for opiate treatment, and staying clean.
9 months I've been clean, you know, like clean, and I reunification with my son, and it's a long road.
A road Raylan says her friend, Natasha LaForce, also traveled down. But police say LaForce's path led to tragedy. LaForce is charged with the second-degree murder of her 14-month-old son, Peyton Giroux, back in April. Her boyfriend, Tyler Shequin, allegedly witnessed her slamming the toddler's head against the floor of their Winooski apartment. DCF had been involved with LaForce and her son since Peyton was 6 months old. The baby originally came into DCF custody after LaForce fled Vermont last year, violating her parole for an earlier aggravated assault conviction. And family members told officials that LaForce had substance abuse problems since she was a young teen.
In each situation, it's highly individualized.
DCF Operations Director Karen Shea says that when children like Peyton come into custody, a case plan is developed. Within that plan, what the parents need to do to get their children back.
What we're doing is matching those risks and dangers together with services and supports to address those risks and dangers.
In LaForce's case, that meant residential treatment at the Lund Family Center in Burlington. Peyton joined her there while still in DCF custody, so LaForce could work on her parenting skills in a safe and supervised environment. After 6 months of counseling, parenting classes, and drug testing, LaForce regained full custody. Court documents reveal LaForce's DCF caseworker at the time said LaForce graduated the Lund program quickly because she proved that she could soothe, feed, and take care of Peyton, and that she could get Peyton to daycare and to all of his appointments. Following the custody switch, DCF had no further contact with the family until 5 months later, the day Peyton died.
Parents, attorneys.
Karen Shea of DCF says that cease of contact is not unusual.
There are times that we don't necessarily, the court or other parties in that process don't necessarily agree that we need to continue to be involved in the family's life. And so there are times that custody is transferred back to the parent and there's no order for the parent to continue to cooperate with DCF.
And the only reason DCF was once again called in the Peyton Giroux case was because Fletcher Allen Hospital reported the child had unexplained bruising around his neck 2 days before he died.
This is a case that is disturbing to anybody.
Prosecutors say it was protocol for a DCF worker to then respond to the home to investigate. And documents reveal that worker thought the child was asleep and never touched or held Peyton while he was there, despite noticing the bruising. An hour later, Peyton was dead, and prosecutors say the DCF worker will not face criminal charges.
I don't know what this parenting class is, but they were, they had to go through a parenting class. Well, obviously it didn't work.
But the case raises questions, not just about DCF protocols, but the child protection system as a whole. Lawmakers launched a series of statewide hearings as they search for possible changes. LaForce underwent parenting classes and was able to get her child back. But prosecutors still say something went wrong.
He was a very happy kid.
Raylan Parizo says she's also taking parenting classes at a DCF-approved nonprofit to get her son back. DCF says family reunification is the goal, and about half of all children in DCF custody are eventually returned to their parents. But about 19% of them end up back in DCF custody again. Raylan hopes to break that cycle.
Oh, he will be back.
So both Natasha LaForce and Raylan Parizo took parenting education classes to try to get their kids back. But what exactly do parents learn at these classes? What skills are they working on? Tomorrow in part 2 of our special report, I actually attended a parenting class and caught up with a mom and daughter who spent 9 months at a residential treatment facility. Excuse me. There, the mom worked hard to overcome her drug addiction and turn her life around. Kristen?
Shelby, thank you.